Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you all of you accepting my invitation for this intro session. Welcome, Mr. Efe.
Hello, Mrs. Ebrar. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How are you, Mr. Azai?
Thank you. How about you?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you, Mr. Yüksel?
Thank you so much. Nice to hear you.
Mr. Çakır?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for asking.
That's great. And I would like to introduce myself, and then I will ask you to introduce yourself after that. My name is Ebrar, and I have been living in United States for like 19 years, and I have been teaching in universities and community colleges for about 13 years. And now I'm helping Vice Quarter students as a career coach, and I invited distinguished speakers and organized this intro session, and I will ask some questions to my guest speakers. And Mr. Yüksel, could you please introduce yourself to us and then tell us about your responsibilities that you have in Voice Quarter?
Sure. My name is Resul Yüksel. I have been in Canada more than 5 years. Currently, I'm instructor at Vice Quarter. When I came to Canada, I couldn't even speak English. Then I learned English. After learning, I get my advanced diploma about IT sector, and then I become a Salesforce developer. Now, currently, I'm giving lessons in Vice Quarter.
That's great. Thanks for introducing yourself. Now I'm going to ask the same question to Mr. Çakır.
Yeah, my turn. Yeah, my name is Erkin. Yeah, maybe some of you already know me. I'm Salesforce developer right now. I'm living in Netherlands, but I'm working with Australian company. That's an energy company as a Salesforce developer. And my duty in Vice Quarter, I will be managing internship program. That is my main duty. And also I will do some development in the project. As you know, Vice Quarter provide consultancy service to the clients. So in this project, I work also Salesforce developer.
That's great. Now it's your turn, Mr. Efe.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy and excited to be again with you guys. I have been in IT industry for about 5 years. I work in different platforms as a front-end developer, as a QA, as a backend as well, and now with Salesforce platform. So in my quarter, my responsibility is take care of external kind of resources, like different partnership, finding different projects for our students and space for them. That's all overall. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Mr. Azai?
Hi, everyone. My name is Dervish and surname is Özay. By the way, thank you for inviting me to this program. And I'm also a Salesforce developer. Also, I'm doing PhD, which my dissertation is about cloud computing. So it's like very related jobs for me. It's great for me. And my responsibilities in Vice Quarter, I'm responsible from documentation. We prepare great documentation for our students. And also I have some background jobs in Vice Quarter, like supporting the LMS system and some other kind of things.
That's great. Yeah, I will definitely ask you some question about it a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. Efe, we have been hearing about Salesforce everywhere in nowadays, and could you please tell us why the Salesforce is so well known on those dates, and what do you think about the future of Salesforce?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, as you said, people started discovering the power of Salesforce. It's growing very, very fast for the past 20 years, like based on the rivals and competition, according to them. It's passed them very quickly, and the popularity coming for multiple things, actually, like anyone from any background, even front-end developer, back-end developer, they started realizing the power of Salesforce. For example, in detail, I would say, for example, front-end React developer, when they see LWC technology that Salesforce implement for front-end development, they are really impressed how beautifully designed and how it makes everything easier for them. For the backend as well, you don't have to create hundreds of lines of codes and classes for as a Java backend Spring Boot developer, for example. It's already there. You will use Apex, similar language, but it's much simpler way of developing. It's not only that, like companies as well open up a lot of spaces for new people. So there is a demand as well. Like it's not only easy implementation or less code. So because companies started implementing Salesforce, more companies, there is a lot of space, and at the same time there is a human scarcity. Like there is a lot of space or new job opportunities that less people apply for the same job. For example, if you apply for a company as a QA, maybe 200 people will apply for the same position, but in Salesforce it's much less. So this is another impressive thing. Yeah, it has been popular for the past 10, almost more than 10 years. The time span of Salesforce is more than 20 years, but the popularity increases so fast. So these are a couple of things that came to my mind. And of course, for the feature, yeah, the feature of Salesforce, you said,
Yes.
100%. First thing that comes to mind, the technology usage. Salesforce using the most advanced technology that everybody impressed. That's why you can confidently say the rivals, for example, Microsoft Dynamic or SAP, they are far more behind Salesforce. And the idea behind it, I think the technology is related to the people who lead this company. Those are genius people like Mark Benioff, and he's recently hired another CEO, like a co-CEO, to help him, assist him on further process. So a lot of things can be added. I just summarize it for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a great answer. And now, Mr. Yüksel, we know that Vice Quarter offers a Salesforce course, which is 6 months long. And is there any educational background or job experience needed to start that course? Can someone learn about Salesforce without any background, can start the course and become a Salesforce developer? While you're answering this question, can you also please do comparison between Salesforce and other IT fields like QA, cybersecurity, data science, a DevOps engineer, a platform developer?
This question is asked many times to me, and I would easily say that this Salesforce is the best and the easiest way to enter IT business, I will say. They thought that they will not any coding and said no. And then they discovered that it cannot be like that, because companies who wants to use Salesforce, they may need some special things, and they changed their motto to less code, which means as less as possible. I would easily say that this is the best way to enter IT business, IT area, and it's really easy to learn. However, I would say that firstly, if someone, one of our friends wants to learn coding or wants to attend this IT area, they need to have, I would say, this is the best thing. They may need some features, like, I will say that first, most likely, we make researches on Google. Because of this, the person who wants to enter this business, he or she need to have research ability and some kind of, I will say, love in IT business. This is the second thing I will say. They need to sit and they need to make research. If our friends have these two features, it will be really easy for them to enter this area. If you love to type work with computers, it will be really easy for you. And the second, you know, we don't go out that much. We have to make researches and we have to spend hours in front of our screen. This is the thing, if you love it. And the third thing, if you have some kind of analytical thinking, you will be really successful. And this is the best way, I will say, and the easiest way to enter IT area. If I compare with other fields like QA or data science or cybersecurity, easily say that this is the easiest way, because in cybersecurity or in all yes, as developer, Java developer, full stack developer, you need to write tons of codes, tons of code. Because of this, I will easily say that this is the easiest and the best way to enter market and enter the IT business. And you don't need any background. You don't need any background. I can give an example. One of my friends, close friend, he was about 40 years old and he didn't have any IT background. He was a primary school teacher in Turkey, and he decided to change his measure, and then he spent around 6 months. After that, now he's working in a really good company. He's really making good money. Thing is, he had patience. He worked a little bit hard. After that, he is really successful now. I would say there is no IT background needed in Salesforce.
Thank you so much. So it's good to know that there's no background needed, but as long as the students are able to stay in front of a computer for a long time, we could say, because we will be spending our time in front of computer during the work hours. And then if they're willing to learn, search in Google and do research, then they should be able to do it without requiring any other coding background or any other requirements. So, and it is also good to know that it is easier to learn comparing other IT fields. So it's really good to know that. Thank you so much. And Mr. Chakar, could you please give us information about Salesforce certificates and job titles?
Yeah, sure, either way. And in Salesforce, we have some certification and job title. And most of the time, job title is depend on the certification you have. What I mean, firstly, like Salesforce, let's say job start with the administrator. So there is a certification of Salesforce administrator. If you get that certification, you can work in a company as a Salesforce admin. So, okay, that is, and if you want to go further, so in the Salesforce administrator, you don't have to write code. You don't have to know any lines of code. That is totally administrative tools. We call like that, drag and drop. Okay, point and click, drag and drop tools. So, and in Salesforce, you can do great things by using drag and drop methods. And we call that people Salesforce admin. And the next steps, if you are not satisfied, you shouldn't be satisfied. In next steps, Salesforce developer. So in addition to admin knowledge, if you learn how to do coding, you become Salesforce developer. In order to work as a Salesforce developer in a company, you have to have Salesforce developer certification. And we have other fields also, but the students who attend our course will graduate as a Salesforce developer, which means they will acquire administrator and developer certification after during the course, right? But there are some other certification I can shortly talk about, which is one of them is consultant, and for that also there are some certification, Salesforce sales consultant and service consultant. But here the thing is, because this certification compared with the developer is easy, the company, like HR, they don't count this certification so much unless you have developer certification. So even though you want to become a Salesforce consultant, it is vital to have Salesforce developer certification. So to know Salesforce very well, you have to have developer certification. And the further, if you want to advance even more, we have some more certification about being architect, and that's called Salesforce architect certifications. Right, more than one. So if you acquire that certification, you can work as a Salesforce architect, and these peoples are very limited in the world. If you can become one of them, a very good opportunity, from the respect perspective or from the money perspective, very good opportunities waiting for you. And you can be an architect in like 5-6 years, but I can be honest, that would be minimum, because that is a difficult things to become a Salesforce architect. And the advantages of become Salesforce architect a lot, like is not non-comparable with any other IT field. And 5 years is nothing to have that opportunities. When you work as a Salesforce architect, what you have to do, you have to think about when you deploy a project, for example, you have to create the architecture of that project. Mostly your duty is totally overall duty. I'm not going on any detail, but you are responsible of the architecture of the project and any project you work on. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm sure there will be someone wants to be architect when they get experience about the job. Now I want to ask question to Mr. FM. I usually ask the general questions to Mr. FM. And here's my question. Why would a company switch to Salesforce? What are the advantages for the company when they switch to Salesforce? Like, is the company's revenues increasing, or is the number of customers increasing?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Let me summarize it for you. There are a lot of actually reasons why Salesforce is implemented by companies, or why they select Salesforce over other platforms. First of all, it's CRM, right? They want to take care of their customers' communication or management. So this is first thing. Second, there are ready functionalities to be used, like a robotic automation or automated process. You don't have to build something from scratch, from nothing, over months, and you don't even know it's going to be functioning 100% efficiently. So there is robotic automation, ready functionality that are built by experts like architects, like 20 years experienced developers, and it has been implemented by many companies as well. So you're 100% sure that those functionalities are usable and functioning. Second, I can say in Salesforce platform, since like I said earlier, it's advanced technology. You don't have to hire multiple roles for one project. For example, a regular company hire DevOps engineer, cybersecurity, maybe DBA, database administrator, or separately front-end developer and back-end developer, which are two separate teams, I can say. But in Salesforce, you don't have to take care of security problem. Like it's high secure, one of the most secure system in the platform in IT world, I can say. If you are a big company, actually, you may need maximum one cybersecurity person. But if you are an average company, you don't even need even a cybersecurity person. You database administrator, it's already you can do that as a Salesforce developer because it's easy. DevOps engineer, you don't have to hire someone to, I'm going detail by the way, like to deploy the process, deploy the code from one environment to another, from like one platform to another, or someone to manage the servers for you. And you are already full stack developer, right? You are front end and back end developer. You don't have to be expert in, for example, React and other things, or a backend developer in any other languages. You already are a full stack developer. Maybe last thing I can say, fast development. In short amount of time, you can build so many functionalities with less bug. Having bug or defect in a code is a big thing for companies as well, because it's a lot of waste of time. So with Salesforce, since most of things are already used, you have less bug, more efficiency, and you save a lot of time.
Yeah, that's great. Now we know why companies choosing Salesforce. Yeah, Mr. Uzay, I was saving my Salesforce developer course related questions for you.
Sure.
Let's say a student decided to take a 6 months long course from Vice Quarter. And could you please tell us about the resources the students will have access to? And when they start the course, is there any program that the students need to download, or is there any setup that they need to do it on their computers?
Yeah, that's all question. So you
Yes.
have asked many questions in only one question. So let me start with the first question.
Yeah.
So we
That's
have
what I do.
so we have a great resource for our students actually. First of all, like we have a handbook for each topics. Okay, then we also like our teachers prepare very nice PPTs to show them in the course, and then in general we have projects to cover all things they learn in the course. We also save our records like live classes, and then we put in the system. I will talk about the system later on a little bit. Then we create a short videos for our students to like summarize what they learn actually, like to give them like, instead of to go and watch all of these hours of the classes, they can watch only like 1 or 2 hours of the short videos to get to catch the classes. And we put all of these resources in only one system, which called LMS, Learning Management System. And believe me, we create that system very user friendly. So we have our courses in that system. Like I will give you an example of admin course. So in admin, we have like topics under admins, and each resources of related to topics is going to under that topics. And it's very like user friendly. And we create that account for our coming students. Before they are coming, we create their account and we share with them like password and username, and they can reach from anywhere. And when they come to the course section, they don't need any program in their computer. They only need the computer and internet, and that's all. And charger, of course. Always they need to carry the charger because they are going to spend many hours on the computer. Yeah. So for that part of learning, that's all they needed actually, just the computer and the internet. This is the part of learning, but there are some programs which they are going to use to learn Salesforce itself. We can talk about these programs later on.
Okay, that's great. Thanks. And Mr. Yüksel, we keep talking about Salesforce that has a flexible and adaptable structure, and that could be applied for banks, hospitals, schools, and any range of business in the market. But how is that possible? Does Salesforce has some modules or parts that's suitable to meet the need of different range of businesses?
Firstly, Mr. Efe really explained the structure of Salesforce because they have really dynamic structure. I will give an example. We have COVID, right? Pandemic. And while we had this pandemic, maybe I will say 6 months later, they created a new cloud, which we say some part of Salesforce. They created a vaccine cloud, which means if a company or maybe a state, if they needed to track vaccine reports of the people who have vaccines, they created right away. Took maybe, let's say, 6 months. And I think we were talking about this topic last week. I said, if they see that there is an opportunity that companies will need to use some kind of cryptocurrencies, I say that maybe they will build it. And I know that they are trying to build cryptocurrency structure on Salesforce, which means their structure is really dynamic. Because of these flexibilities, they can adapt everywhere. Salesforce can adapt, I would say, everywhere, but mainly, we have 15 different clouds, which means we, as a Salesforce, we serve in 15 different areas. The 6 of them is the backbone, and I would say the main Salesforce cloud is Sales Cloud, which we are going. I think 20 years ago, they created the first cloud, which was Sales Cloud, and then they needed to create Marketing Cloud and Service Cloud. After that, they saw some opportunities, and they said, now our companies, let's say education company, they may need a different cloud because health cloud and education cloud, they may have different needs. Because they have dynamic structure, they created right away. I will easily say that they can create in 6 months. If let's assume that there is a flowing thing in the world, as I give an example, let's say cryptocurrencies or blockchain, they can create in 6 months a really nice, user-friendly web page. This is I will say that this is the strong part of Salesforce, and they can do it right away. It's really easy for them.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. And Mr. Özay, can you specify the interview preparation resources you provide at Vice Quarter? And do you think the Vice Quarter students will have enough support to get prepared for the job interviews?
Of course, I can definitely say that because every week we have 1 or 2 classes of interview preparation class, and we have enough resources for that.
Okay, I kind of feel like you like talking about the student resources at Vice Quarter. Since I feel that, I want to ask you one more question about it. How about the mentoring program and one-on-one mentoring?
So we have like both mentoring actually, like every week at least 1 hour, our mentor is coming together with his team, and this is like a mentoring session actually. And then we ask our mentors to come up with students by one, to ask them if they need some special need in the course, like it can be anything, whatever, like preparation of resume. Of course, we will have like the classes for preparation resume and other things for the whole classes, for the whole students, but for one-to-one mentoring, we will like ask our mentors to go and ask one by one and to track our students actually what they are doing. They are catching the live sessions, or they are studying enough, or they need something or not. Every week at least we ask our mentors to ask students to come together with them and as a team and also one-to-one. And of course, they are not done when the course is finished. After course, this session is continuing until they find the job actually. As soon as like the students is eager to meet with us, we are ready for them over there, okay?
Yeah, that's great to hear it, because I know that when the students feel alone without help, they may not be able to make it. So it is great to know that there are a lot of resources and one-on-one mentoring option in Vice Quarter. So I'm sure that will be very helpful.
Even we all have like different like job roles in Vice Quarter, but we have a common job roles to encourage, like all of us have that common job roles to encourage our students.
That's great. That's good. Thanks. And Mr. Efe, do you have anything to add to this mentorship program? Can you tell us anything additionally for example, professional mentoring at Vice Quarter?
Of course. Yeah, we added professional mentoring as well. It's a kind of unique for our bootcamp or course. We don't, I don't think any other maybe bootcamps provide that. So professional mentoring is something that we support students even after they find job. Where, for example, if they're stuck on any task or any tool or technology, we either assist them or provide some resources for them. So, there are a lot of companies. Every company use different platforms. It's kind of unique for every company because they talk to external systems. Some of them use .NET, some of them use maybe under, what's that called? Node.js. So many different platforms. Definitely they may stuck somewhere and we want to provide them some kind of support. And this is gonna be satisfying as well. 100%.
That's great. Yeah. So you basically provide everything the students will need, right?
Exactly. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Good to hear that. And now I want to start asking some question about internship program because I know some students waiting for it. And we know that Vice Quarter also offer 1 month internship program. And I want to ask internship program related questions to Mr. Chakar. And Mr. Chakar, first of all, can you tell us how did you came out with an idea offering like Salesforce internship program?
Yeah. As you know, we graduated many students, and I personally observed one by one all of them during their interview, their process, and during the course. Okay, the knowledge they acquire from our courses is more than enough. Our friends doesn't have any problem with the knowledge, but they have problem in the interviews. And what is that problem? That problem, they cannot reflect their knowledge to the project. Okay, they cannot express themselves. Why? Because they are carrying the discomfort of not being in a real project. I can see them from their face, from their explanation. They feel not comfortable. They don't feel comfortable because they never use real Salesforce, licensed Salesforce instance. Okay, so, and that gives them discomfort, and I can understand them. When they are not comfortable in the interview, they cannot answer even the question they know very well. And I also understand that if interviewer wants with a few questions, interviewer can understand very well if anyone work in real project or not. I mean, real working environment or not. I know I can do that also. And so how we can eliminate this discomfort from our students? That was the question I asked to myself and our team. We asked, and we had a long meeting before coming up this internship program idea. How we can make our students very much comfortable in the interview. And the best answer, all of mutual idea of all of our teammates, that creating a real real working environment. Okay, we can create that. And why we can create that? Because we are a consultancy company. We provide consultancy to the client company and under the Vice Quarter. We are right now working on project for our clients. Okay, but how we can integrate our students to this consultancy or to our company? So this is the answer, by providing internship them on our project. So we can meet our students, we can introduce our students with real life working environment, with a licensed Salesforce, with real-time deployment, with a client talk, so they can be in a part of every cycle of the Salesforce development. When they work as a developer, what they will face in the real life in the future, they will have that in the internship program. I will do my best and my only focus to put them in every cycle of the development so that they can be very comfortable on the interview later on when they talk about their project. Okay, so that is the overall idea why we came up with this internship program.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. And I remember that when Vice Quarter announced that there will be a internship program, there were a lot of demand and question about it, and this is a big need on the market because a lot of people learn about Salesforce, but somehow they cannot find opportunity to apply their knowledge in real environment, and they never use sandbox, and how they're gonna use sandbox related information in the job interview, right? So it is a great opportunity. And because I know that when I talk about it to my friends, they were like, oh, when it's going to be offer and where, how, and there were too many questions about it. And I know that that program will be very helpful for many students. When the students take that 6 months course, they will be eligible to start internship program after the course, right?
Yes, for our students, we provide out of charge them. But for if anyone who has knowledge about Salesforce and wants to have internship, so they can be welcome in our program. We open the program and the start date is 13 of next month, 13 July. So all of the people who has certain level of the Salesforce can welcome in our program. So, and also I want to inform right now, when we choose our interns, we have to make them interview. Okay, because here in the program, I will not teach them how to solve a story because they already know the answer, I know, and I will test in advance if they know or not. Okay, but I will make them to solve, investigate the story, the task, like they will do in the real life. Okay, and also another very much important benefits of this program is not just for the passing the interview. Imagine that you pass the interview and tomorrow you will have a daily meeting. What is daily meeting? What do we talk in the daily meeting? If I want my friends to become so active in the IT field, in the meeting, so that they can directly get the microphone and they can talk, they can give their idea, because their ideas are worth talking. I know, I can see the light in my students. They are very talented. And just the thing is, I have to bring that the talent out so that our students, our graduates, or whoever comes join our program, represent themselves, their knowledge, and maybe their country, because they are representing also country in the meeting, in the everywhere they talk. So, and that's require a comfortability, and we promise to give this comfortability by this program.
That's great. Thank you so much. That makes a lot of sense. And Mr. Yüksel, and we said 6 months long course had admin and development part, right? Because we know Salesforce has 2 parts, so the course will also have 2 parts. So can student leave this course after completing the admin part, and can they find a job when they became a Salesforce admin after they get the admin certificate?
Yeah, definitely they can find a job in admin, but I will not. Why? Because if there is a Salesforce team, they will work in a team. I will easily say that if, let's assume that there are 5 team members, 4 of them will be developer and 1 of them will be admin, which means the probability of finding a job decreases about this part, but they can find it. I will just recommend that if they want to become admin, just admin, not developer, which I highly not recommend, they need to learn some specific topics like flow or security. If they have really a good knowledge about especially flow, the probability of finding a job as an admin will increase. However, I will say, in 2 months, they will become an admin. This is nice, but I will easily say that the competition in admin parts, when they want a job, it's really competitive area, I will say, because as I said, it's really easy to do, it's easy to learn, and there are lots of people who wants to become admin. And I highly recommend my friends that please don't afraid of becoming a developer. Why? This is not that kind of job that you have to learn everything. In Salesforce, we just need basic knowledge of HTML and CSS. It's really easy to accomplish. I will easily say that if they give 1 week to HTML and CSS, they will have the basic knowledge. This is really easy. And we may need an intermediate level of knowledge about JavaScript and Apex. I will easily say that this will take a month, which means whole JavaScript, CSS, Apex, and HTML. It will take not more than 1 to learn the basics. After that, after learning these developer skills, I will say languages, I think it will not take too much. Maybe they will spend 2 months. After that, they will say, okay, now I know admin part and I know developer part. It means I'm a developer. And the chance of finding a job will really increase because of this. I will easily say that yes, they may have an opportunity to find that job as an admin, but I will not recommend because this is really competitive area. But becoming a developer is not that hard. The first question you asked me, it was about to compare the job titles. Let's say, is cybersecurity hard or Salesforce? You cannot compare them because you have to learn lots of code, and not intermediate, maybe high-level knowledge you need to learn, you need to apply. But in Salesforce, you don't need that high-level knowledge about these languages. Because of this, I will easily say that they can find a job as an admin, but I highly recommend to my friends that they can become a developer really easy. They have to be patient. They have to work hard. Then everything will be easy. And I will easily say that the annual earning will be really good if they become a developer.
Definitely. So yeah, even there is a possibility that the students can get a job as an admin. We definitely suggest to become a Salesforce developer and search for a job. And as I know that the company cannot give developer job to an admin, but when the company hire Salesforce developer, they can also ask for admin part to that person. So that's why they prefer hiring Salesforce developer instead of admin. That's what I see mostly.
Definitely it's true. A developer can easily accomplish the task which admin can do, but an admin cannot accomplish the task which developer can do. Because of this, becoming a developer is not that hard, and the opportunity of finding a job will be easy. And because of this, I highly recommend that they have to be patient and they should become a developer, and it's really easy.
And that also affect the salary that they will get, right?
Sure, sure.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. And Mr. Azai, you said that the students will have account for LMS system and they will be able to reach all the resources in one environment. And now my question, is there any other program besides LMS system that the students need to know or download or
No, actually,
get access?
I mean, for becoming a Salesforce developer, they don't need any kind of programs to download on their computer. The only things they needed, like LMS, is for our education part, okay? But for to applying the knowledge which they learn from classes and to follow our instructor, they just need to create an account from the Salesforce Developer Edition. This which is same edition with other edition of Salesforce. So they just need to create that account, and maybe if they want to do more practice what they learn, they can create another account which is a trailhead account. This is the platform of doing more practice, and there are some projects and some other like challenges in that platform. They can just go and search and do it. And actually in that platform we build the like trail mixes, which they call trail mixes. Like we can say it's kind of assignments which we prepared for our students, which totally is same order in our curriculum, okay, or in our syllabus. So they easily can go and find these trail mixes which we created for them and do after they learn it, okay, to apply like do these challenges what they learn from our classes and do in Trailhead. Actually, in Trailhead, when they are doing these practices, they are collecting points and badges, and there are many other things to do in that part of Salesforce. And when they do that they collect enough points and badges, they can use it in their resume. Actually, this is another thing. Yeah. So, like, to sum up the question, they don't need any program out of Salesforce. Okay, just creation of Salesforce account. That's all.
Yeah. So they will be able to reach the recording of the sessions, but they will also be able to attend live sessions. Yes. And they will also have some homework from Trailhead. All of them will be in the same environment, which is nice. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Chakar, do you have any other additional information that you want to say about the internship program? You said the students who complete who got the Salesforce education from another place can come and register for the program, but you have some requirements, right? Are you gonna do testing or interview? What is your plan?
We will do interview. Before accepting the person to the program, we have to do interview. Of course, we want we want all our friends benefit from this program, but at the same time, we have to think the people who already joined the program. And imagine we have 1 month and we are having the real environment. So we shouldn't let any level difference happen in the working environment. So we should have a pace to follow in a certain, so I have to give a task. He can investigate, she can investigate, that's okay. I will give a whole day for him to complete the task. But if he doesn't know even what to investigate, okay, he cannot do anything. He will ask friends or he will ask me, okay, or she. But what I will test in the interview, if that person know what to investigate, they don't have to be so afraid. This will be not like job interview. Okay, I will just ask certain question in the interview from the project perspective. Okay, that's all. And I'm sure if they complete a developer certification, if they complete any course, Salesforce course, I'm sure they can pass my interview. But I have to have that interview in case there is one person, even though he completed somehow the course or get the certification, but if he doesn't know anything, so I have to have that this interview to eliminate that people. Right, that people has to study a little more, then can come to our program. We always welcome them. Right, that is the purpose of the interview. 2 years later, I want my interns, I want my students to remember me and thank me, even though I will not hear them. Right, so they will join in client talk. So okay, we will discuss how we can resolve that problem, how we can satisfy our client. After that, I will determine, as a project manager, I will determine the stories of the project, and I will distribute them to our interns, to our students. I will give them tasks and let them to investigate, but I will not show them how to solve this task unless it is so neat. I will first let them to learn how to fish. Okay, and so after that we will have 4 weeks. So I divided 1 month period. I divided project in 4 sprints. In the real life, we work on sprints. Like it can be one week sprint, 2 week sprint. It depends on the company, but we will have 1 week sprint. So every first day of the week, by the way, internship program will be just in the weekday. I want my friends to rest on the weekend because that is a real environment. You know what I mean. So they will be like that in the real life. They will not work on weekend unless it is so necessary. So the week will start with the sprint planning. And if my friends who listen me doesn't know this term, don't worry, you will learn. You have to know, investigate, okay? And I can explain anytime, no worry. And after that, we will have daily meeting, like in the real life, and we will talk about the stories. And I will, the most important part, me and my colleague, my friends, will check if in the development process, if the interns implemented the best practice of the development or not. That is the very good benefit for the interns here, because there's many ways to solve a problem, solve a task, but I will try to teach them or highlight the best practice, okay, as a project manager in the project. But after that, we will continue the week with the stories. At the last week of the weekday, we will have sprint review meeting. So my friends or I will show some demo about our change, what we did, okay, to the stakeholders. Right. So we are just showing our development to them. We did this like that, so we will get feedback from our client or stakeholder, and after that, or before, it depends on the project development, we will do deployment, weekly deployment. Each person will do deployment himself or herself. I will let them. All right. So 4 week will repeat like that, and at the end of the 4 week, we will complete the project. That is overall summary of the program. And if you think of any detail, I can give. If any further question, I can give.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we ask the participant to write their questions in the chat box, and we also have technical team answering their questions. They can enroll our WhatsApp group and Telegram group if they would like to. We have the information in the chat box. So yeah, if I get any other question related to internship program, yeah, I will definitely ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's switch to Mr. Efe. Mr. Efe, Salesforce, we said Salesforce designed their system with low code. So there's the majority part of Salesforce will be working without code, but there is still part that the students will need to learn about coding and some programs. What are those programs?
Yeah, okay. Before that, I would like to say Mr. Erkin really excites me also, as well as students. I wish I was joining his program as a student. 100% is going to be beneficial so much.
I feel the same thing.
Really a big opportunity for students, because a lot of time it's a theory, but at that moment you will have a real implementation, teammates, client calls, agile implementation. It's going to be exciting. Okay, back to the question then. So Salesforce, if you are a Salesforce developer, actually you are a full stack developer, because you are able to do front end and back end development all at once. So for the front end development, you will need to learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS, plus a framework. For example, React is a framework, right? Or Angular is a framework. Related, like similar to that, in Salesforce, we have LWC or Aura or Visual Force Pages. Most recent technology is LWC, and the most popular one. So students have to learn LWC framework as well. These are for the front end. So since they are backend developer, they will need to learn Apex, meaning like Java, similar to Java, maybe almost 95%. Apex programming language, plus SOQL. In other platforms, it's called SQL, object query language, and plus API, right? Application programming interface that is helping you to interact with different applications. Over this, of course, you will have to learn Git as a version control system, Jira project management tool as well. So these are the platform and languages every developer has to learn. And that's all.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Özay, I want to ask you one more question. In a LMS system, does Wise Quarter has a system to keep track of the work for the students, or the students can see their progress?
Yes, of course. In the LMS, it's not only in the LMS system. Also, we like our mentors is also tracking our students. Okay, what they are doing and where they are actually. So because after the course they will attend our internship program. So we want them to be ready for that internship program because they cannot find it after they finish the course anywhere else. So we want them to become ready for that program and get benefit as much as they can. So
Yeah,
in the
definitely.
system,
And
yeah,
Mr. Chucker will do exam for them. So yeah, they
Yeah, I will
definitely.
do our students interviews. I will put them in interview also. That's
Yeah.
every student who join program has to have that interview. Even our students, even though they pay, they have to have pass the interview. But
Yeah.
somehow they will have somehow. Maybe not first month, but I will, as if they fail in the interview, I will talk with my instructor or mentor friends. I will say they have missing on that point. Can you help her or him on that point? So to prepare for the next program 1 month later would be. So sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. So, Mr. Raza, you need to prepare all those resources very well. See?
yeah.
They're
Actually we have all these resources ready for them. When the time is coming, we share with them in the LMS system, and we can track in the system which videos they are watching and which files they open it or not, and they are doing it or not, and of course we have like quizzes for them after each topics, and for some most important topics we make them like quizzes or like things like that, and we will check their points that they get from the quizzes. So another things in the LMS system, we have like button over there in the for each file and each record, so they can click that button that which to say the system, okay, I finished that file, or I finished that resources, I am done with this one. So even not only for us, for themselves, they can like to track themselves when they log in the system, so they can easily find where they are actually. They don't have to go all around the system to find the week they are in right now, or the file they are searching for. They will just find it, okay, I done until that part, so I will continue from here.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now, Mr. Yüksel, I want to ask you another question. So let's say you're in a class and your students trying to do what you're doing on your screen and trying to follow all the steps, but somehow they had a problem, they couldn't catch up, or they missed the class, or they had some issue in their computers. Do you have opportunity for those students to ask their questions during class and after class?
Sure. We have a friend. She is willing to help our friends that if they have struggled in some part of our lessons, we are using Slack for interaction. If they ask a question in the Slack channel, definitely I will read it. If it's some kind of common question, then my duty is to answer that question. If it's some kind of technical question he or she is struggling with, we have a friend. She is also listening. She's also at the class, and she's duty is to answer that technical questions right away. Which means if they, didn't catch up anything, they can easily ask their questions, and it will be answered in maybe 2 minutes. This is the first thing. And the second thing, we have two courses. In morning classes, we have Turkish lessons. Our lecture is in Turkish, and in evening classes in English. And our friends, they can attempt both classes. If they want to listen in Turkish, definitely they can, and it's allowed. And if they want to listen English, they are welcome to join our classes. And after English classes, which is I'm trying to cover that one part, if they have any question, and if they don't feel comfortable in English, after finishing our lecture, I stopped recording and I asked my friends that if they want, they can ask their questions in Turkish. Approximately it takes, I would say, at least 20 minutes. If they want to ask something, I definitely answer their questions, which means if they attend the class live sessions, I will say, most likely 95% I'm sure that they will not have any questions about that lecture. It will be really beneficial for them. And the other thing, let's assume that, we are living in a life. We may have some problems to attend the class. They can easily reach our videos and they can watch many times if they want, and it will be beneficial for them too. And the second thing I will highly recommend, in IT business, we have to use English. Even you live in Turkey, it depends on the company which you work, but the thing is, they will ask you to, if you have knowledge about English, which means if our friends who lives in Turkey, if they attend Turkish class, it will be really beneficial for them to attend English class also. And if they don't have time, they can listen our videos, and they can get used to our language, English language, I will say, and IT language, I will say.
Yeah, that's great. And it's good to hear that you will have additional assistant teacher during the class and help out whenever the students ask question or cannot catch up, because I'm sure you had topics to cover. So at some points you may need to continue, but the assistant teacher will be able to help those students. So all the questions will be answered. That's great. And Mr. Shakur, my last question to you. So we are talking about the project that will be offered during 6 months course. And we also talk about project will be offered in internship program. Is it the same project or what is the difference?
Yeah, the project will be covered during the course. The purpose of that project is the digesting the information they have just acquired during the course, during the session. Okay, first they will learn, then they will implement right away what they have learned. And while working on that project, our project instructor will show them, okay, you have to do this, and please do this after me. Okay, so this is, we call baby step. Okay, that is my project instructor will directly give them fish. Okay, well, I can call like this. All right. So, but that is very vital. I am not underestimating that project session at all. That is very vital because that's best to implement what you have just learned in right away in a project. That is vital. Okay, but still has some missing point for the development perspective. All right, and what is most important for a developer is to know how to approach a task. All right, not to if I, for example, if you got a task, first thing you have to know, investigate. All right, but in the project session, there will be no time for the investigation. There will be just answer. Again, I'm highlighting that's vital. But after that, two projects finished during the course, they will start internship program. In the internship program, I will not do like project instructor did. I will not show how to solve the task. I will give them task. I may give them clue, or I may ask them some additional question to direct them, to give them some idea, but I will definitely not give the answer. All right, but somehow I will make them find the answer. All right, that's my my talent. I can do this. All right, so I will give them task and they will investigate. They will find answer, right or wrong, but they will find an answer, and I will check the way they solve the problem, task, not problem, task. So if there is anything missing, I will add. Right. If not, I will directly implement what they did and we will deploy. That is the very big problem. In the project session, they will get the fish, but in the internship program, they will learn how to catch the fish, as a summary.
Yes, thank you so much. And Mr. Efe, I have one last question for you. And Mr. Shakur told us that internship program will start in July 13. And can you give us the date for the 6 months of course?
Yep. Okay. Sure. So it's gonna be 28th of August. Definitely, any students who are interested can register from now on because we are doing pre-mentoring as well. So it's not like registration and leave them alone. No, definitely not. So it's a full mentoring process before course start or during the course and after course as well, as we discussed about professional mentoring. So it's going to be 6 months plus 1 month. Actually, it's 7 months in total. 6 months is going to be regular teaching and the other projects that we implement. And it's free for our students to join internship as well. It's going to be plus 1 month, or total 7 months. And that's all.
Thank you so much. And I see that our technical team also answered all the questions in the chat box. And I think that that was a great program. Thank you all the information that you provide for our students. I will continue organizing those IT talks because everybody learned a lot of information. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the session. Thank you very much, everyone. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you for having
Bye-bye.
us. Thank you.